Hello, my name is Dawn Funnell and I'm here to read you an interesting story today. It's called The Very Shy Hermit Crab and it was written by Gretel Hallett and illustrated by E.C. Hibbs, both of whom have written beautiful books that are available on Amazon, so do look them up. Now, The Very Shy Hermit Crab, here he is. The beautiful designs, and look at him. He's waving a flag up in the air. We'll find out why. Okay, off we go. There was once a very shy hermit crab who lived in the most beautiful shell in the sea. He looks really happy there. He's got a cup of tea or coffee or maybe cocoa, enjoying it in his little shell there. Okay. He was very happy living in his beautiful shell. The only problem was that everyone who saw it wanted to collect it because it was so beautiful. Oh no, a big hand's coming in and taking him away. He looks really not very happy. Oh no, what's going to happen next? Let's find out. The very shy hermit crab had to peep out of his shell and wave his legs to keep them, to let them know this shell was occupied, so they would put him back into the sea. He's saying, look, help, look at me. I'm here, don't take my shell. Now, one day, he was asleep when a little girl saw his shell and put it in her bucket with all the other shells and pebbles she had collected. So you see, because he was asleep, he wasn't able to kick his legs and show them not to take him. He was asleep. This little girl picked him up. Well, I don't think she meant to harm him. She looks too nice, doesn't she? When the very shy hermit crab woke up, he was in a jar on a windowsill. He couldn't get out of the jar as it had a tight lid on it. Oh no! Look! He's saying, help, I'm in this jar, I don't want to be. What happens next? Well, every time someone came into the room, the very shy hermit crab tried to attract their attention. But no one noticed him peeping out of his shell and waving his legs. Look, the little girl's on her bed. And she's occupied and he's trying to say, hello, I'm here, hello, hello. But no one's taking any notice of him. I hope he can breathe in that jar. Until the little girl's grandparents came to visit. And the little girl wanted to show them the shells she had collected at the beach. There they are. This little girl. And that's her grandparents there. Look, they've come to see her. It's always exciting, isn't it? They poured the shells out onto the table to admire them properly. And then Grandma said, oh dear, this shell is occupied. See? Granny's telling the little girl there's something inside the shell. And the little girl sort of realises it. And they all looked at the very shy hermit crab, who tried to tuck himself even further into his shell to stay safe. Well, you would, wouldn't you? We all do that. I do that. If someone's like doing something to you, you want to go, oh, help me. Okay. We must take it back to the sea at once, said Grandpa. So they got into Grandma and Grandpa's car and drove all the way back to the seaside, and the very shy hermit crab riding in the little girl's bucket again. Where's the car? It's going off to the seaside. Maybe Cromer. I don't know if they have hermit crabs in Cromer. That's a seaside place, not far from me. Just thought you'd like to know that. I'm sure you've got lots of lovely seaside places near you. And if you have a look carefully in the little pools and puddles, you might see a crab. Who knows? Grandma, Grandpa and the little girl waded out into the sea and very gently tipped the bucket so that the very shy hermit crab tumbled out and back into the water where he belonged. Yay! There he is. He's getting out of the bucket and he's going back into the sea. Oh, but the little girl, she loved him. She loved him so much she put him in the jar. Oh, but now he's gone. Then Grandma, Grandpa and the little girl searched the beach for another shell to put in her jar. They couldn't find one as beautiful as the very shy hermit crab shell, but they did find a pretty one instead. Just because something's beautiful, you shouldn't just take it, should you? And mess around with it. It's not good. As for the very shy hermit crab, he decided that enough was enough. At the next hermit crab shell swap, he chose a plain shell that no one would want to collect. Oh, maybe he's hiding his light. You should always be lovely, but there we go. All the other hermit crabs agreed that the most beautiful shell was too dangerous to live in, and so it stayed empty. They're having a little meeting and they've decided to leave the shell empty because it's too beautiful. And it's only a shell, isn't it? The most important thing is inside. Little hermit crab. Anyway, the next time the little girl went to the beach with her parents, she found the most beautiful shell lying at the high tide mark on the sand. There it is, the beautiful shell again. She checked it very carefully this time, but it was clearly empty. No hermit crab. So she took it home and put it back in the glass jar because it was a beautiful thing, and now it was empty. The very shy hermit crab lived very comfortably in his new shell and was never collected again. He was free, wasn't he? Sometimes when you really like something, you've got to do what's best for them, haven't you? It's no good living in a jar, looking pretty. No, you've got to let it go and let it be free so that that little character is happy in his life or her life or whatever. I like this story, it's really good. And in this book, there's some interesting information all about hermit crabs that you can read too. And it's called The Very Shy Hermit Crab, and it's by Gretel Hallett, and it's illustrated by E.C. Hibbs, and it's available on Amazon. I hope you've enjoyed this story, and maybe I will join you again another time with another interesting story just for you.